Okay, so this week we are doing subtracting rational numbers. But before that, let's review the rules for subtracting integers. Now, make sure that before you watch this video, you have better watch the rules for adding integers so you have a sense of what's going on. Okay, so this is our mat right here. Now, the yellow chip or the yellow counter represents +1. The red counter represents the -1. Now, if you put them together, that gives you a zero pair. Now, a zero pair, again, is a pair of numbers whose sum, or when added together, gives you 0. Because a +1 plus a -1 is a 0. They're both opposites. Now, let's try our first problem. What if I say 4 minus 3 equals to what? Now, we all know it's 1, but how is it 1? Now, when you see the minus symbol or the subtraction symbol, it means to take away. Like, we're used to that notion that it's taking away. So let's start with 4 positive. It says +4. It says take away 3. So take away 3 positive. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm left with 1 positive or +1. So technically, that's how the counter works. Oh, that's why it's +1. Now, as you notice, this is the same thing as saying 4 plus -3. Now, when you watch the video on adding integers, you know that when two numbers have different signs, you subtract the magnitude and copy the sign of the bigger magnitude, in which that, for this case, it's 4. So that's why our answer is a +1. So let me erase this one and let's move on to another problem. Now, what if we have -4? So -4 minus 3. So that means I should have 4 red chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, and take away 3 yellow chips. Now, do I have yellow chips in here? Again, it's -4, so 4 red chips take away 3 yellow chips. Oops, 3 yellow chips, but I don't have any yellow chips. So what do I do? So the next thing you do is you need to manipulate your mat, like what you have right here. So I'm gonna add 0 pairs. Remember, when I'm adding 0, the number stays the same, right? Because 1 plus 0 is still 1, 5 plus 0 is still 5. So if this is -4, if I'm gonna add 0 pairs, I'm not changing the value. This is still a -4 because this 2 right here equals 0. Now I need 3 yellows. So I need to add another 0 pair. So it's possible for me to take out 3 yellows, another 0 pair. Now, I'm not changing the value because these are 0, 0, 0. So 0 plus a -4 still -4. The value stays the same. Now, with all these counters on the mat, can we take away 3 positive? It says take away 3 positive. And the answer is yes. We can take away 3 positive. We got 1, we got 2, and we have 3. Now, how many counters are left? Or what counters are left? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 reds left. So -3 minus -4 minus 3 is a -7 because we got 7 reds. Now, take note. This is the same thing as saying -4 plus a -3. Now, if you remember the rules for adding integers, when you add the same sign, you add the magnitude and the sign stays the same. So as you can see, we have the same answer, right? So do you notice the pattern? That subtracting is the same thing as adding its opposite. So let's have another example. Now let me erase this one. So, and we're gonna reset this mat. Oops, I can do that. Let's reset this mat. Our next example, let's try -4, -4, take away -3. Okay, -4, take away -3. So let's start with 4 red counters. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it says take away 3 negatives. So let's take away 3 negatives. 1, 2, and 3. What's left? It's a -1. So the answer is a -1. Now, let's check this. Let's see if our pattern is right. So what we're saying is subtracting is the same thing as adding its opposite. So we're going to subtract so -4. Subtracting is the same thing as adding. So add its opposite. What is the opposite of -3? Which is a +3. Now, going back to the rules of adding integers, if we're adding different signs, we're subtracting the magnitude. So 4 minus 3 is 1, and we copied the sign of the bigger magnitude, which is the -4. So the sign is a negative. So we have the same answer. So let's erase this one, and let's have the last problem. And let's reset this. Okay. Okay, so for our last problem, let's try to do 4 minus -3. So 4 minus -3, that means 4 yellow chips. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then take away 3 red chips or 3 negatives. Do we have any negatives in our mat? We do not have any. So what we need to do again is manipulate our mat, and we need to add 0 pair. Again, 0 pair means it's equal to, obviously it's 0. So 4 plus 0 is still 4. We haven't changed the value of our mat. So add another 0 pair. So we can take away 3 reds. We still got 2 reds. Now add another third pair of 0 pairs. So we got 4 plus 0, 0, and 0. So all these are 0. So 4 plus 0 is still 4. Now, can we take away 3 negatives? Can we take away 3 negatives? Yes, we can. So we can do 1, take away 1 negative, the second negative, and the third negative. Now, how many counters are left, and what are the colors? There's all yellow color counters, and there's 7 left. So that means 4 minus -3 is equal to 7 yellow counters. Now, let's try to do what we said earlier about the pattern, that subtracting is the same thing as adding its opposite. So we got 4 plus, so add its opposite. What's the opposite of -3? A +3. That's supposed to be a parentheses, haha. So 4 plus 3 is 7. So we still got the same answer. So hopefully this helps.